afternoon, everyone, and welcome to 2022. Happiest of New Year's to the people in Topic Time land out there watching the show. We're in the 12th year of the show now. It's kind of a mild wintry afternoon out there. There's supposed to be a little snow on Friday, but there's two shows I'm doing this week. No snow, Wednesday and Thursday. So we're starting off 2022 with an awesome pair of guests, filmmaker and an actor. But before we get to them, per usual, got to read these great underwriters, and then we will commence. So we got Pals Driving School in Middleborough, reaching out to the driving students in Middleborough and vicinity. We got Pacini's Pizza in Middleborough, they deliver. We got Dave's Automotive right down the road in Hanson, good old Dave's Automotive. We got Squid's Ink Tattoo in Pembroke. We got the Brazil Store in Pembroke. We got Crazy Actions Recreation Center in Hanover. We got Maggie's Cuts in Kingston. We got Pembroke Radiator in Pembroke. We got Ocean Street Auto Repair and Service in Marshfield. We got Local Mystique in Plymouth. We got Tom Auto in Middleborough. We got the Gunrunner LLC in Middleborough, dedicated to your Second Amendment rights. We got Genuine's Inspection in Middleborough. We got DNS Auto Works in Abington, also right here on Route 58. I want to thank you guys very much. And now on that note, I'll introduce a couple of guys that are in acting and filmmaking. This is Samson Zillick and James Labonte, and they came together as guests, but I think we did the booking through Samson, as he goes by, named after a biblical character. And gentlemen, how are you doing? And I'm so glad you came in. Thank you for coming in.
Nice to meet you, Harrison.
Okay. All right, well, I talk to, when I have multiple guests on, what I usually do is I start talking to the one that I booked initially, and then if, profile both of you guys, and then if you want to interject with anything, feel free. And I'll start with you because I like to, I do this. I say, tell me about what you were like as a kid. Where did you grow up? How did you get into acting? And if I have any questions, I'll throw them in, and then we'll do the same thing with you.
Awesome.
But remember, it's conversation. It's it's free for all. So feel free to to throw in your 2 cents if you feel that you want to, and that's fine. So go ahead. You start with that.
Yeah. So like you said, my name is Samson Zillick.
Yep.
I grew up in a small town, very small. Like the population was like under 5,000.
Okay, you want to name the town?
If that's all right.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Of course. So it's Warren, Massachusetts.
Great town, west of Boston.
Yeah, I think so. So Western Mass.
Yep.
So yeah, I grew up in Warren, Massachusetts. Very small. Everybody knows everybody.
Okay.
Kind of deal. Same thing as in school goes. Everybody knows everybody.
Okay.
And it wasn't until about my sophomore in high school where I kind of had that awakening moment of taking a theater arts class. And
Okay.
when I was on that stage performing, I was like, this is it.
Wow.
This is what I need to get into.
Cool. What were you performing on stage at your high school?
So we did, it was a one-act play. It was called Oh, What a Tangled Web, I believe.
Okay.
And
Is it a famous play? Because it sounds familiar.
No, I don't think it's that famous, really. It's,
Okay.
It was just,
It's an old cliche, though.
exactly.
Yeah. So that's
Exactly.
probably where I've heard it.
Probably,
Okay.
yeah, like those sayings,
Right.
So I remember doing that play, and I actually was casted as a woman.
Okay.
So I had to get the wig and the whole
Lose the beard or
dress.
cover it?
What's that?
Lose the beard or cover it? Or didn't you have a beard
So
then?
yeah, no, then I didn't have. I think I had like one little hair, like on my chin or
Okay,
something.
well, some women have that too on their face.
That's true,
You
yeah,
don't want to
but-
be joking about it too much, but why not? It's okay.
Right,
We're
it's
all
COVID.
friends
We can
here.
joke a little
Exactly.
bit, right? Yeah. So no, I remember just getting casted for that, and this was just an intro class.
Okay,
and
how old are you, like 15?
How old am I? And
No, how old were you then?
oh, I was about 15 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
I discovered acting right on that stage,
Right.
playing in Oh, What a Tangled Web, and I remember being in a dress and a wig and
Okay.
a suit. I was like, my heart was pounding, and just anxiety, and I didn't even know what anxiety was back then.
Listen, I gotta ask, what about, did you feel like a little homophobic doing that? I'm just curious. I mean, only if you did, that's fine. If not, that's fine too.
That never entered my brain. Like
Okay,
never,
good. Okay,
not even a
sometimes
thought.
you have
yeah.
to do things for roles. That's fine. It's no big deal.
So
As
yeah.
long as you didn't have to do things that you didn't think made you uncomfortable, then that's fine.
Yeah, I thought like I was kind of on the other aspect where I was like, this is gonna be hilarious. Let's do this.
Of course.
Listen,
at my kindergarten graduation, I dressed up as the Wicked Witch of the West. So I've done it too.
There you go.
Okay?
Yeah.
That was 1965, June 14th.
Wow. So I wasn't even born yet.
I know that.
I don't know if you were born yet. Yeah. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, but you probably. Okay, well, all right, James. Talk to James. You go by Jim or James?
Both.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Then we'll
we-
go by James because
Okay.
that's what I think was on your Facebook page. All right, so now tell me. All right, you said you were born then, so let's talk about your growing up and how you got into what you're doing.
Yeah, I grew up in Revere,
Okay, Revere.
Ravia,
Got it.
yeah. And went to school in Revere my whole life. And
Okay.
then went to Northeastern University for
What'd you
broadcast,
major in there?
broadcast journalism.
Cool.
And then worked as a newspaper reporter for a few years.
Maybe, for what paper?
Worked for a chain of weekly newspapers. One chain was Prime Communications, and then they got bought out by the Herald and then by Fidelity at one point.
When they got bought out, did you still write for the Herald?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, but I worked for the weeklies. And
Okay.
so I was in Melrose, Malden.
Oh, I see what you mean. So
Yeah.
these were the little spin-offs of the Boston Herald that were only distributed to those towns, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the local community
I understand.
papers. Yep.
Cool. What
So I did that for a number of years, and then I started working part-time at UPS. And then
delivering packages?
I started in operations and then went into engineering and then to IT.
Okay.
So I actually left the newspaper business at one point, and I did that for probably about 30 years.
Wow.
And then recently retired from that, and now I'm concentrating back on writing again and filmmaking and acting.
Nice.
Okay, now writing now, you doing journalism again or just writing film scripts?
Just writing screenplays.
Okay, screenplays.
Yeah, and actually working on a novel at the moment too.
You're working on a novel?
Yep.
Cool, let's talk about the novel.
A novel is actually, I co-wrote a screenplay called Shooting Jeremy, which
Student
is
government?
Shooting Jeremy.
Shooting Jeremy, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I co-wrote that with my friend Brian West, and we had recorded that over the last, 2.5 years.
Okay.
COVID caused a lot of hurdles.
Yes, I know.
It's currently in post-production. Should be about a 60-minute feature once it's done.
Okay.
And Brian and I are actually now taking the screenplay, and we're going to make a novel out of it.
Oh, I see. That's so.
Yeah, which is kind of the reverse direction.
It is the
most people
reverse,
go.
because usually,
Yeah.
so you've already performed it somewhere, right? Or it's
Yeah.
been performed?
Yeah.
Now you turn it into a novel.
Yeah, because we had to cut out a lot of stuff to do the film.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the ideas we had, won't make it to the final film. So we figured we could reincorporate those if we did it in a novel as a side project.
Okay, now is Sam here in your film?
He is,
Yes, okay, let's talk
absolutely.
about what you do in this film.
Yeah, so in this film, I believe I'm a DEA agent, and I have a canine with me, which is
Okay,
awesome.
So you're a guy in this film.
Yep, so I'm a guy, right, in this
Okay.
film, yeah, so I've grown a little bit
Okay.
since the high school
Right,
days.
since high school.
No, but yeah, so it was great working with Jim, and him and I, we just have a great relationship, and it all started with background work
Yep.
in 2018, and which I've done for a couple of years, and him and I were in tons of projects together, and that's kind of how we just grown together in excelling in acting, and he writes and directs movies, and
You were acting them.
so, and I act in them, yeah, and
Okay.
it's kind of just like a thing now, which is awesome. So,
Okay, now have either of you done what the other one has done as well? Like, have you done acting and have you done writing?
so no, I've never done any writing or
Okay.
directing, but it's definitely been in my mind to
Okay.
do something very soon.
Cool, okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And what about acting for you?
Do a lot of background acting. which
Background,
is-
right.
Yeah,
Now,
which
where have you done background acting?
in Massachusetts,
Right, but I mean,
Connecticut.
can you talk about the projects, specifically?
Yeah, over the last few years, I've done the projects at almost every. I'm in SAG, as is Sam. Dexter, Salem's Lot.
Dexter, was that a film about a murderer?
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay, that's a big one. Who was in that?
Michael C. Hall is the.
Oh, yeah, the guy
yeah.
from one of those 80 shows.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we had Clancy Brown is in that as well.
Okay,
So I did background on that. I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Same.
it's like a Whitney Houston song.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's
Was that based on it? Is that the song they use in the film?
yeah, it's a biopic about Whitney Houston.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a
Who's
big
in
project.
that? I mean, that must have been quite a intense role for you because obviously what she went through.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe she passed 10 years ago.
Well, my role is man in tuxedo, out of focus, way in the back.
Oh, okay.
But it was fun.
Yeah,
Sam
yeah.
worked on that with us, and I did a couple of Hallmark films.
Wow.
I went down and did a day on PEP, which was the boxing film down in Hartford.
Okay.
So any projects I can get on, I jump on, and
And how long? And you've been doing this for like 30 years?
No, I
When
haven't.
when was your first? How long ago have you been doing
About
projects?
3.5 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually, speaking of movies, I've been in a couple, and my very first one was 25 years ago when I was in Amistad, and Spielberg fired me on the set. March 22nd, 1997,
No
if
way.
you can believe that.
That is awesome.
It is amazing. 25. I can't believe it's been 25 years.
But that's a great movie.
It is, but
That's a very good
and then I
movie.
was in Shutter Island in 2008, and I worked directly with Scorsese, and he was incredible.
Wow,
I
so
played a
you-
mental patient role I was born to play.
So you get all the good movies with the good directors and
Well,
everything.
it sounds like you did too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, but and plus now you're directing as well.
Yeah, and I always make sure I write a little part in there for myself.
Of course.
Give myself a couple
That
of
makes
lines.
sense.
And
So how'd you guys actually meet though?
we met on set.
I don't know what set of what.
Was it Castle Rock?
Yeah, I
Or
think it was
something before
Castle
that.
Rock. I think it was Castle Rock actually. We were just outside in like our little holding area.
Okay.
And like when you're in holding doing background work,
I know.
you could be in for like an hour or two. It depends. It's all about like hurry and wait
Could be
kind
10
of business.
hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you're always just meeting people, and James and I just hit it off. And
Cool.
he told me at that time you were actually you were drafting, I think, Shooting Jeremy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's it's not out yet, but it's coming out. And then we also have another movie which I want to talk about
Go
a
ahead,
little bit.
talk about it.
He wrote this one, and it's got a great core of actors and actresses, and I play like this cannibal, crazy kind of like psycho character in
I
it.
can see
and,
that in you.
And I give my best in it too. Like I try to put really good work in it.
Yeah.
Because I've been in the business like only 3 years, but I have a lot of drive and motivation now.
Right.
And just being in background work, I've taken classes now, and
Where?
I've taken classes with CP Casting.
Okay.
Out in Boston.
I know where they are. Yep. I auditioned for something for them in 2017. I didn't get it,
Yeah.
but that's okay. I'm not
yeah.
bumming about it.
Next time, right?
No, I'm fine doing the show, but that's
Yeah.
cool.
I'm also currently taking self tape audition classes with Heather Whitty.
Okay, I know
And
the name.
That's in Rockland, Mass. So
Yep. Not too
yeah.
far from here, Rockland.
So it's about 40 minutes from where I live. So.
Oh, okay. It's not too far from here. It's only like 4 towns from here.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, are you still living in Warren now?
No,
you wouldn't be.
no.
Warren's way further away than. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm currently in Natick, right
yeah,
outside the
okay,
Boston
sure,
area.
sure. That's not too far. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I'm in a state of mind where I'm just like sharpening up my skills.
Yep.
And now I'm getting a lot of indie projects. And back to his movie, it's called Barbecue at Fort Pond.
Okay.
Where I play like this like crazy cannibal guy, and this movie I'm excited about for sure, and it comes out very soon, I think.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So you've already done your spots in it, right? You played a. Is this where you now? The other one you're talking about was when you played the guy holding it with a dog, a canine, playing
Yep.
a cop or something.
Correct.
Okay, and that was the different one, not the one. Okay.
Yeah, that was Shooting Jeremy, and this
Shooting
one
Jeremy,
is
this
called Barbecue at Fort Pond.
Okay, Shooting Jeremy's done already.
It's in
It's
post-production.
in post production. Okay.
Yeah.
Both of his projects
And
are.
the barbecue at Fort Pond is in post-production as well.
Okay, so you've acted in both of them.
Yeah, I've acted in both of them,
Okay.
and just last night actually, if Carly Starr's watching this, I got into I sent an audition tape.
Okay.
She wanted me to send in like some comedy.
Is she one of the
piece.
CP people?
No, so she's like her kind of own. She's a writer and a director.
Okay.
And she's producing a lot of shows, and so I kind of like reached out to her because I really wanted to join this project. I liked all the actors that are in it.
Okay.
And so she's like, yeah, send an audition tape, and I got a part, and
That's
this
sweet.
will shoot in spring of 2022.
Okay.
And I play a boyfriend, and it's called Breakup Alley.
Do you have a hot female co-star? That you
We
know
will
with?
see.
Oh,
We
I bet
shall
you do.
see.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to think that she's not, and then you want to duck out at the last minute. I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, I'll never do that anyways.
I know you won't. I know.
I'm in it to have a great time and
Okay.
to support indie stuff.
Right, exactly. Okay, so just curious, why did you go, James, why did you go from working as a journalist to delivering packages for UPS?
Money.
That's what I thought, yeah. I know. I've worked as a journalist too. I've done some freelance journalism. In 1988, I was also covering sports for a local paper here in Bridgewater.
I still wasn't born yet.
Well, when were you born?
We'll get there if you throw out a number. I'll tell you.
Well, I don't know. I'm guessing you're 23 or 4.
Nope.
Younger?
Nope.
Oh, all right, 30. I don't know.
We'll stick with one of those. We'll stick
Okay,
with
it's
one
up
of
to
them.
you.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell. If you want to tell me your age, that's fine. If not, okay. Well, I mean, you say you were born before 1965, so you might be in my age range, give or take.
Yeah, give or take.
Give or take. Okay. All right. Well, what are you currently working on? All those things are in post production. What is the current project you're working on, if anything, right now?
Working on the post-production for Barbecue at Fort Bond. I'm helping with the editing on that.
Yeah, okay,
Shooting Jeremy's with the person who did the cinematography is doing the producing of that.
okay,
And then I'm working on converting the Shooting Jeremy screenplay to a novel with my
Okay.
friend Brian.
okay. Now, it must be, now you wrote the screenplay first.
Yes.
Okay. To convert it to a novel, I mean, is that, you think that's an easy, I mean, is it gonna be, that's gonna be a ton of work, isn't it? Taking the script, or is it gonna be easy? What do you think? Is it easy to
Well-
go one way or the other way?
When we wrote the original screenplay, it was over two hours long.
Okay,
So basically just took the original screenplay, which is twice as long as what the final project ended up being.
yeah. And you and Mr. West, right?
Me and Mr. West, yeah.
Okay.
And we're taking that, and the first part of it was reformatting it, to be
Okay.
for a novel, and then now it's going back and retooling it, and obviously when you do a novel, you're going to have more details,
More details,
a
but
lot
less
of-
action.
less action,
Right.
a lot of what the thoughts are that are going on in the characters'
Mm-hmm.
minds, a little bit more of the backstory.
Interesting, yeah, that's true. So
yeah.
you're basically, you're more in depth, but you're right. More, it's more inner than it's more internal than external.
Right, and
Right.
so it gives us the
Okay.
opportunity to really explore the characters in a little bit more detail, and we have a good starting point.
Absolutely.
with all those pages we already wrote.
Where did you actually shoot these films? Where was your sets for these films that we're talking about?
We shot in parts of it in Framingham.
Okay.
We shot in Lawrence, Mass.
Okay,
We shot down in Rockland.
Okay.
At a couple of locations.
so basically in
And-
Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, everything was
Okay.
in Mass.
Was
Yeah.
anything in Leominster?
No,
No.
Okay,
no.
that's cool. All right. How much media coverage have you guys gotten in your home? Already. Just curious. Is this your first TV show? Have you been covered by? I mean, I figured you being in journalism, you probably maybe had a little in at the Herald. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not great on marketing. That's not my.
You're not? Okay.
Yeah.
Good-
So,
good
and we
thing
held
I
out.
am.
We held out for your show.
Okay, I understand. All right, this is great. I'm
Yeah.
honored.
We
All
turned
right.
we turned down Jimmy Kimmel, and we.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was dating my cousin for 5 years.
I know that's why I brought that up.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah. Well,
Look
I'm
at
putting
that.
him out the pasture. He's going to be retiring soon.
Ah.
But he's not. But you got to give him.
You should take over. Yeah.
Well, he interviewed Olivia Rodrigo. That's my next goal. I'm in love with her, I guess you could
Ah,
say,
yeah.
to some degree. All right. Okay, that happens to me sometimes. All right. Anyway, but we don't want to get too far off that. All right. So right now you edit too, or do you just act?
No, so I just mainly stick to acting. Maybe in the future I'd like to write some short film or something. I'll probably call James on that or something. Send him some stuff to see if it's okay, if it's good enough.
Well, I run it by him. You mean?
Yeah, of course.
Tell
yeah.
me about your part in the minute. What's his first name?
Brian West.
Brian. Okay. Tell me
Yeah.
about him. Are you guys classmates in school?
No, we actually met doing acting classes.
Okay.
Down in Worcester with Chris Novell.
Okay. I know who he is. Chris Neville.
Yeah, Chris
Yeah.
Neville.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did acting classes with Chris for quite a while, and we got used to doing scenes together.
Okay.
And we had kind of the same mindset,
Yep.
which is, a little.
You
bit
like
on
dark humor, right?
The, we like dark humor.
Okay.
We're a little bit on the.
He nailed it
Yeah,
right
we're a
there.
little bit on the
You
weird.
You nailed it.
Just by the titles, you can tell.
Yeah,
like it.
we're both a little bit on the.
On the off the
Off to
center
the
cut
side,
side.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am too.
So,
Oh, that's awesome.
Right.
yeah, so we both had the same interests and stuff, and so we started writing Shooting Jeremy together. And originally it was to give us both some acting exposure, and it started as going to be it was going to be a short film,
Right.
and then as we wrote it, it just started flowing, and then when the dust settled, we had a 2-hour feature.
Right. Well, that's great.
Yeah, it was great, and then we started getting ready to produce it, and then of course COVID hit.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we retooled it and we cut it down to make it more manageable and to make production, a lot less days, and got it down to like a 60-minute feature, give or take. And we won't really know where it lands.
I know how it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't know until you're done editing it.
Yeah.
And you're not even gonna know when that's gonna be until you do finish.
Yeah, we're thinking we'll have the rough cut part done by the end of January.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll get a good idea of where it's going to fall, and then move on from there.
So what do you edit at home, or you have a
I'm-
studio?
Evan Schneider from Hop Top Films.
Oh, I
did
know
the-
him.
yeah.
He did my show, and we had to scrub it because somebody texted us telling us there was some information in there that we couldn't give away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Non-disclosure stuff.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so he did the cinematography and the production part, and he's doing the editing for Shooting Jeremy.
Okay.
The barbecue one, I'm doing the post-production on that one.
So how many films have you done so far? Just those two, or have there been more?
Just those
Okay.
two. We did, Sam and I did start one, and then COVID put the
hit, yeah.
kibosh on that. It was we may revisit it.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's worth
It's,
revisiting. For sure.
Of course, yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
they get back to it.
Yeah.
So, have you guys done anything else in entertainment? Either of you musically inclined? You ever done any played sports or anything as well? I'm just checking. I just want to
I-
find out how multifaceted
you know,
you guys are.
I grew up in garage bands.
Okay,
And,
there you go.
The highlight of my career was I played bass guitar in a easy listening punk rock band at Ralph's Diner on a Saturday night
In Worcester.
in Worcester.
Right.
Yeah.
Worcester, cool.
Yeah, and then a week later the band broke up. So
Ah,
that,
man.
that was
Okay.
the end of my music career.
Oh, okay, you gave it a shot. How many
Yeah.
were in the band?
That was a 4-piece band.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
not bad. Well, are any of those other guys still doing music? This was a while ago, I guess.
Yeah, that was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
I would assume the guitarist moved out of the area, but he was extremely talented. He had a perfect pitch.
Yep.
Picked songs
Did he
up
sing
really
too?
quick. Yeah, he could
Cool.
do it all. And
Yep.
he moved out of the area though, but hopefully he's still doing music because he was really talented.
Right.
I'm not, the drummer still drums, but he's not in any bands.
Right.
And I lost touch with the singer.
You lost touch. And what about you? Have you done music? You played
Yeah,
sports at all?
so before the acting, because remember I got into it when I was like, I was about in my late 20s. I got into acting
Okay.
to do a lot of the BG and stuff. But before all that, I was writing a lot of just like poetry.
You were, okay.
Yeah, in my like college days, and just before that.
You say college?
Yeah, so
Where
I went
did you go to college?
So I went to Westfield State University.
Okay, I looked
right
at that
just
school
before
many
the
years ago.
Berkshires.
Yep,
Yeah, great teaching school. Like everyone that's a teacher goes there.
okay.
So yeah, and I play a little like acoustic guitar and stuff, and write a little bit. I love music, obviously in
Yep.
general. There's always music playing, like in my apartment and just around me in
Oh,
my
I
car.
know. Love the top 40 stuff.
So
every day.
exactly, yeah. Yep. So definitely a big fan of music, and I think like music goes with film, kind of. It's
Oh,
like
it does.
hand
That's
in
why I'm
hand.
asking, 'cause I
If you
figured-
talk to an actor, and if they say they don't like music, then it's like, are you sure you're an actor? You
I know. Well, that having been said, do you incorporate? I assume you incorporate music into your films as well, right? And if so, how do you get it?
So for the
And if not, then the question's moved. So go ahead.
yeah, barbecue at Fort Pond. One of the actors is Kevin Conley.
Okay.
He's
and
good.
he's an area musician and
Yeah.
actor.
Okay.
He's very good.
And we're going to use a couple of his original songs in that film.
Cool.
And we may use one of his.
He's a musician, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and he's on Amazon Prime if you want to go look him
Okay.
up and listen to his music.
Maybe we'll get him on as a guest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're stealing a couple of his songs for that film, and we may take one of his songs for the Shooting Jeremy film. And we had, I think we used about 50 or so people in Shooting Jeremy,
Okay.
and probably 10 or so musicians.
Wow.
And we've had various people offer up some of their original music for it and stuff. And then Sam and I both know a lot of people that play instruments and
Yeah.
write songs.
Right. Okay.
So once we get through the rough cut of that film, we'll maybe look to see if we grab a bunch of original music from people that were in it and
Right.
people that we know that are in our network, and go from there.
Okay. Now, you guys ever been out to Hollywood doing anything out there, or have plans to go
No.
at some point? Okay. You're happy doing it. Things seem to be picking up right here.
Yeah,
You're okay with it.
a lot of things are right here, and
Yeah, I know they are.
Once you're like growing in the community of just the acting world, I kind of don't want to leave it
No, I
because
know, yeah.
you're networking with people, and
Yep.
right now I'm only in like just like James, like 3.5 years into it, and I built like a great community, so I don't want to lose them because they offer work and projects and
Right, and plus the
it's just-
CP casting wants to shoot, send you out to LA, you'll go out.
Right.
yeah, if
yeah.
there's a need, then I'll go out
Exactly.
when that time comes for sure.
Well, guess what, gentlemen? We're down to the final 5 minutes of the show. I hope
That
we-
went by so quick.
It does. It always does. Topic
Right.
time. I mean, I'm pretty good at what I do. I have to admit it. So what I'd like you to do is before we wrap it up, look at the camera with the red light. Give shouts out to people that are going to see the show, and then we'll wrap it up with my music the way we began it.
Awesome, I'll have you go first, James.
I'll
Just
have you go
condense the
first.
shouts.
Oh,
out.
okay.
You go.
Yeah, so shout out to Jody and Melissa for getting me my SAG card. In
Jody
Confess
Purdy?
Fletch. Yep,
I
in
know.
Confess Fletch. Shout out to CP Casting, Boston Casting, my family and friends who just keep motivating me to work every day and keep pushing. And just shout out to all the actors out there and directors. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, how about you, James?
Shout out to my wife, Louise Mara, the area actress, and who's also helped me with all my projects. She actually just did the poster for Barbecue at Fort Pond, and she's always there to support me. And, of course, all the many people I've worked with on the films, both as background and on my projects that have helped me out, just to thank you for that. And hope to have the opportunity to work on a bunch more projects down the road with everybody.
Okay, well, I hope you had fun with me.
It was
We
great.
did, yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right, now the last thing I ask everybody is that if you did have a good time with me, I'm getting more guests from word of mouth than ever before. Give actor friends, musicians, whatever, models, anybody. Give them my digits. If you had, tell them about Topic Time when the show is up. We're going to share it with the world, and I want to get as many people from having you guys on as I can get. It's and that's how I network, and it's been going pretty well.
I have a catalog of people for you. So
That's it. Just send them just give them my digits. You know my number now. It's very easy. And now, before we wrap it up completely, besides what you're doing now, is there anything on the horizon that you might have overlooked that you want to mention? If not, that's either one of you.
Yeah, great question. Actually,
That's the only time I ask. Go ahead.
I'm really, really proud of this independent movie that's coming out called Lightkeepers.
Okay.
And James and I are in it, and we've actually received.
What's it called again?
It's called Lightkeepers.
Got it. Like
And,
L-I-G-H-T?
L-I-G-H-T.
B-E-R-S?
Yeah.
Got it.
What he
Okay.
said. Yep. So it's based on a historic event that happened here in Massachusetts.
You don't want to give that away. You don't have to.
No, it's okay. That's just a little backdrop of it.
Okay.
And I think it takes place in Scituate, Massachusetts, and just before the War of 1812 or so, on the
Oh.
Bates sisters. And they discover that like the British are coming on a big ship, and so they run out into their families and kind of tell them that the British are kind of coming.
Okay.
Kind of
Even
deal.
though that happened down in Maryland, down the coast, even not in Scituate, but evidently there was some tie-in, obviously.
Right,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
exactly. And so I'm really proud of this movie. Both James and I are in another movie together, which is amazing.
Okay.
It seems to always work out. So
That's awesome.
yeah, shout out to Lightkeepers, and that should be out, I think, either this month or next month.
Well, okay.
Yeah, and Sam had a great scene where he's scrubbing the deck,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
barefooted, and it was a freezing cold day.
As long as you didn't get seasick on the scene.
Yeah,
In the
and-
scene.
And then I get to walk over with a bucket of ice-cold seawater and throw it at him.
Okay. Well, I hope
Yeah.
no fish got hurt in the production.
Not on
No.
him, but pretty
Okay.
close to him, and so I was very excited about throwing the seawater at him.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's what a friend's for, right?
Yeah,
Exactly,
absolutely.
right.
Okay, guys. Well, you ready to wrap it up? You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you
right,
so much.
folks. Happy 2022. More great episodes to follow. See you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.